I do the thing I should have done before I hit record. I do that instead at the very last second. Okay. So we'll see how well my first stream back is. I don't know. Doing a lot of thinking about the streaming stuff lately. Thinking of changing a few things. Maybe which platform I do this on. Because I'm thinking. Oh, hey Fishcake, how you doing? Good to see you. How you been? Haven't spoken to you guys in about a week. Hope nothing catastrophic happened in the time I was gone. But who knows? But anyway, I digress. Let me go ahead and do the usual spiel I gotta do here. And well, like, this is the first stream back in quite a while, and I'm still pretty exhausted, but I'm gonna do my best to power through this. Although I'm glad to be back, Fishcake. Although one thing I'm really considering changing, and I don't know if I'm gonna do this yet. I'm kind of leaning towards yes. Is what platform I do these streams on, because the reality is YouTube's kind of kneecapped me as far as what I can do in these live streams, and right now TikTok seems much more supportive. So I'm thinking potentially of either switching to TikTok or doing more streams on TikTok in balance with here, because yeah, it's just hard when it's clear that YouTube is not helping you get a new audience with this. I don't mind talking to you guys as well, but you know, I also gotta make sure that I have to think of the commercial aspect of doing this too, and where a lot of my time and allocation goes to. But anyway, that's not I've decided yet. I'm gonna see how this week goes, and then if that goes well, then you know, that should hopefully remove that issue. But if it doesn't, then I'm gonna have to make a call, because I can't keep going streams with only like 3 people the entire time. I'm not sure I'll be able to be on TikTok live. Is there any particular reason, Fishcake? Because you don't need to pay anything for it. You can just do it. Like, the app and the account are free. Or is there some band where you're at that I don't know about? What was I doing? Right, Discord. Hey, Red. Good to see you. How you doing? Ugh, you made it tonight. Ooh, it's been a long time. I know it has been a long time. Welcome back. It is good to see you. How's life? How you been? How's your projects going? Tell me more. Go ahead. What the fuck? Nope. There we go. You saw a doggo on Discord? I will admit I have not been on the Discord in a hot minute. So let me see. What? Was that in general or was somebody else? My project is great. Nice. Glad to hear it. Was it in general? Did I miss it in general? Not that I say, but I could be wrong on that. Ah, I see. The parental problem. Okay, yeah, that's fair. I get that. Well, I don't know your mom, so I'm not going to pretend to know how to go about that for you. All I can just say, I'm hoping for the best. Although TikTok isn't really that different from YouTube. It still has the same kind of content both ways. As far as I can tell, TikTok doesn't seem any more dangerous than YouTube is. But that's just my personal opinion. I know there's still a lot of issues. Or there's a lot of issues with YouTube in particular, but I think it's worse than TikTok is. Oh, and apparently we're finally gonna get Hollow Knight Silksong pretty soon. Fuck yeah. Yeah, we're okay, Fishy. Yeah. I'll see what I can do. That's all I can ask about. So Red, for the proper context of that, I'm seriously considering switching from YouTube to TikTok for these streams, because YouTube has very clearly kind of canceled me, like cut me off from reaching any kind of new audience on here. And like that's not a problem I run into in TikTok. So I haven't made an official decision. But like that's kind of what I'm leaning towards right now, because at the same time, like I love you guys, but I don't know if I can keep doing like 3 people streams of the same 3 people the entire time. I need to be able to build my audience with these two. Because as much as I do enjoy these chats, I gotta think what's also good for my channel as a whole too. So I don't know. That's just one thing I'm mulling over. Maybe I'll do both. Like 2 days a week, I'll do TikTok. 2 days a week, I'll do YouTube. I don't know. It's one of those times you gotta really, if something's not working, you gotta rethink how you do things. So that's, I don't know. I'm gonna see, give it a week, see how things go, and then I'll make a better decision from there. I don't think TikTok is good for live stream. They do ban videos for no reason. I mean, so does YouTube. So I don't think that's. Oh God, I will not be leaving YouTube. No. That's not what's happening. YouTube is like, YouTube itself is here to stay. I just don't know how many more lives I'm going to do on this platform as opposed to TikTok, because TikTok will actually help me grow an audience, and so far they have not banned me. So I've been on that platform for quite a while now, building up a brand. Like I think I have more followers on TikTok than I do on here. But as far as leaving YouTube, hell no. I'm still gonna be here. I've worked too hard on this goddamn channel just to abandon it now. Yeah, I feel old using YouTube sometimes. I mean, it's not that you feel old. Like, it's still, like, they have a monopoly on how this shit goes. So it's not like YouTube's going anywhere. There's no competitors. Do you have the same name on TikTok? Yes, I do. If you look up Michael the Comic Nerd on TikTok, you will find me. So I'm pretty easy to find. If and when I make that choice, there will be a larger announcement. I'll make sure to put a link to my profile on there so anyone who wants to follow along can. I'm kind of leaning towards like breaking it off, like giving YouTube 2 days and TikTok 2 days. That way I can continue to try to grow my audience and bring them over. Yeah. That's actually a pretty decent plan, because I might incentivize people on both sides to check out the other account. Also, what is your TikTok? Could you give me a link? Yeah. Let me see. TikTok. Let me go ahead and see if I can drop it in the chat. Okay, there we go. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. Let me go ahead and put that in the chat right there. I'm doing okay, Red. Things have been progressively getting better. There we go. I put it in the chat. Let me know if that works or if I need to find another way. It's definitely been a very hectic month, but, you know, things are starting to look up. I'm afraid to say that, honestly, because it feels like every time something could go right, it just goes the other direction. So I'm still scared to trust it. But, you know, my job's going good. I think I'm finally making enough money to, like, live instead of just survive. My credit score is shot to hell, but that was always going to happen. I just got back from Comic-Con, so that was a lot of fun. And I greatly enjoyed it. It was a fun experience for me. Met a couple celebrities, you know, good shit. Which reminds me, I got to email that Justin guy I met there. Crap, I keep forgetting. Oh. Baby?
Yeah.
What's up?
I'm getting water.
Okay. Alright. So, yeah, sorry about that. I was blown away. Yes, yes, fish cake. What is your question? Typically, it's a bad taste for me because in the art community, some artists are drawing children nuts, whereas they didn't do anything. I mean, again, I really hate to say this, but like, YouTube does it too. I mean, not explicitly. Definitely not like that. I know TikTok is also pretty rigid with their reporting system, so I feel like if you report enough times, those will get banned. Like, they get mad at me if I use the F word, so I feel like their guideline policies are pretty tight. But that being said, I completely understand what you're saying, and it's fair. That's a valid reason. I can say that's not all of it, because at the very least in the circle I'm in, I have yet to see that. But that being said, I'm not going to say you should not feel uncomfortable when there are uncomfortable things on there. That's valid. And I definitely respect your guys' choice in that regard. All the same. Then again, what's I'm leaning towards right now is like a half and half situation. So if you don't have, there's also news about TikTok gets mad when I swear it's crazy to me. I know, right? Yeah, like we're gonna think of a half and half deal where like we'll do half TikTok, half YouTube, and that way people who are able to make the migration over to TikTok for whatever reason will still be able to have access to these chats. And who knows, might be able to bring from TikTok over to here so we can have friendly new faces to talk to. There's a lot of options there, but again, how do you recover from a real bad overstimulate? That is a very good question. Okay, like overstimulated how? Like large crowds, large noises. Something else. I'm getting what out of this, you're talking largely about like a full-blown panic attack, right? Or anxiety attack, something like that. And if that is the case, there's a few ways to combat it. You can try grounding techniques. So like the 4-7-8 method is pretty good, where you breathe in for 7 seconds and then exhale for 8. Wait, no, sorry. You breathe in for 8 seconds and you let go for 7 seconds, and you do that 4 times, and that helps regulate your nervous system. I don't see any YouTube, rage baiters on YouTube lately. Is that a good sign? It means you're farther away from it. I don't think it's slowed down or stopped. It just means that whatever algorithm is speaking to you today is moving those from your recommendations. So it could just be a matter of personal taste. Large crowds, lots of loud noises. I think so. Okay, yeah. So, if and when you encounter a situation, you get overwhelmed. Does your heartbeat get faster? Does it become harder to breathe? Do you just feel the need to if your fight or flight instinct kicks in, or your freeze response, and you just kind of seem unresponsive? Is that kind of what it sounds like? Because if so, that's a full blown panic attack. Yeah. So, what was I saying? All right, panic attacks. Yeah. So there's a few things you can do about it. Like I said, the 4-7-8. The four. Is it 4-7-8? Fuck it. 4-7-8 breathing is a good one to help calm your nervous system. You can also try. There's another technique I know that is pretty good. Grounding techniques for anxiety. Okay, here we go. Multiple techniques to. Oh, this is from a fucking Red Wing thing. I don't give a shit about that. Okay, so grounding exercise. There's physical grounding, which is like put your hands in water, pick up or touch items near you, breathe deeply, savor a food or drink, take a short walk, blah 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 blah. Okay, here we go. This was looking for the 5-4-3-2-1 method. The 5-4-3-2-1 method is to help you kind of get out of that fight or flight mode your brain is in and try to bring your thoughts back to more logical self. Also, Fishcake sounds like a kid when I first hear them talk on Discord. Are you a kid, Fishcake? Fishcakes I feel has always been. No, I just don't want to be there. My heart does beat fast sometimes, but not all the time when it happens. Okay, so it's not severe. But it is a mild panic attack, so this thing's gonna be helpful. Obviously, the first thing you want to do is, get out of the environment that is stressing you out. For starters, somewhere quiet and maybe isolated, or two people you care about, that can help you. And we want to try this. When that happens, when you start feeling that way, these are the steps you need to help ground you. You're gonna look around and you're gonna point out 5 things you can hear. 4 things you can see, 3 things you can't touch from where you're sitting, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. You kind of go backwards in there. That kind of gets your brain to switch modes. Wait, Fishcake, if you're 21 or 22, why do you need your mom's permission to download TikTok? Something returning me In-N-Out Burger. Oh god, it's probably closed by now. No, it's still open, but there's no way I'm getting out of the house for that. God. One bummer thing about working 7 days a week is that you don't really have a lot of time for breaks. Special needs. Oh, I see. Okay. Can you describe? If this is none of my business, but I'm gonna ask anyway. Like, I guess can you tell me more about what that looks like for you? If you want to say so. I am not going to force you to say something you do not want to say because again, it is none of my business. Religious and special needs mom is afraid she's overprotective. Ah, I see. Okay. Um, that's tough. I can't imagine what that would be like. That's awesome. Sometimes. Mm. Oh God. Ugh, I don't think I've stopped moving for a solid week and a half. They sound adorable if you hear their voice. I'm sure. Anyway, what was I saying before? Oh yeah. Oh no, I was complaining about no breaks and stuff like that. Thankfully, I got like next week off from work, so I'm trying not to stuff my schedule with other things because I will keep making that mistake. And so that way I can actually get some sleep, and I can have days where I don't constantly work on things, even though I've become a horrible workaholic. But a few days of glorious sleep where I don't have to wake up for shit. My body actually lets me sleep for that entire time. Holy God, fucking hell! I would do a lot to get that. I would do a lot, consistently too. Now they're just like a one-off. Huh? Is it just us three in here? Like, goddamn. Ugh. Yeah. Bleh. Anyway. Sorry, guys. I'm a little zony out right now. Is there any history comics? Oh, tons. Like, what part of history are you looking for? Probably the most well-known one is Maus, spelled M-A-U-S, which is a biography of. I'll get back to comics that are historical. Gotcha. Yeah, Maus is one that is probably the most well-known. Is like one of the first video essays I really wrote back when I first started doing those. That is a biography of the author's father who survived the Holocaust. And it goes into very vivid detail about what that looked like. So that's a pretty brutal history read. There's other ones that are a bit lighter. I know there's like biography comics, but like I saw one like Bella Lugosi that was pretty good. But I'm gonna look at other ones because now I'm curious. And thank you for giving me a topic that allows me to wake my brain up a little bit. Okay. Oh God damn it. There. Alright, I'm going to Reddit. So it looks like there is the War of the Trenches / Goddamn This War by Jackie Tardy. I'm probably looking for something different. Like I read Maus. Is there any Napoleonic or the World War Times in China? Nanjing. Well, I know. Like, I'll see what I can find there. I know. Oh God, what was it called? I had it in my brain. I lost it. Oh yeah. George Takei wrote a autobiography about his time in the internment camps. That's called like They're Just Like Us and like that. Ribbits here from the amazing digital circus. Well, welcome, Ribbits. How you doing? Okay, let's see. Looking up what I got here. Let's see. There's Britannia by Peter Mulligan. Hugo Pratt's Corto Maltese. Looks like that's pretty well researched and has historical and fictional elements. Let's see what else. And you're looking for stuff like historical facts, right? My X, not Twitter. Nah, yuck, 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 yuck. All right, let me put in factual history comics. Like, what's the ones that actually like research and shit? Okay, here we go. Looks like there's a comic about history of real life scientists made by someone whose name I cannot pronounce. It was a science journal. Let's see. There's March by Rep. John Lewis, which is pretty good. Since no one was Twitter here. No, Twitter found me. Let's see. Logic Comics is about a mathematician and philosopher, Bertrand Russell. Let's see, what else? Yeah, I don't know how many like kind of focus on stuff in American comics. If you're looking for comics that like printed there, you might have a better chance. I don't know. They're harder to find than I thought they were. But maybe I'm wrong about that. Okay, here we go. These are some ones that are set in ancient history. Let's see. What are some of these? 300 is technically a history book. I know there are also Napoleonic era comics. Okay, I'll Google up that specifically. See what we get. Okay. Napoleon history comic. I can't spell Napoleon, but that's okay. Let's see. Yeah, there's a few on here. The first one that came up is a French book called Napoleon Bonaparte Integral. I don't know how to say that. Let's see, written by Pascal Davos. English translation, I assume. Nope. Oh, nope. I take that back. It's entirely in French. Is there anything to do with life comics? Oh, I'm sure there is. It's more like comics about ancient Greece or Rome. I don't remember golly, I forgot a lot. I mean, you want something like ancient Roman stuff, that's honestly easier to find than ones about Napoleon. Let's see. Well, let's look it up. Comics about how to deal with life. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so the first one came up as one called Kind of Coping, which is a series by Marzi Williams, which explores the experience of living with anxiety through relatable illustrations. Not really. I'm sorry, buddy. Is there anyone want to talk about something in particular? See, let's see. Here we go. 7 comics about trauma. Yes, Red. Yes. What are we talking about? This angle makes it look kind of sinister with the light and all that. Okay, there we go. There is a book called Murder Next Door, a graphic memoir, which is about an adult who lived with the trauma of seeing a dead body when he was a kid. I like New South Park. Haven't watched it. I know Fishy said I'm gonna do my best to find something useful. Honestly, I don't know. I kind of got over South Park a long time ago when it just I don't know. I guess maybe I just grew out of their general philosophy about life, which is caring about stuff is dumb, and you're stupid if you do kind of thing, which has been the modus operandi for over a decade, and it feels like it's gone increasingly right wing now. I know they may want to make it fun to Trump, but even then, they couldn't really see anything more than Trump has a weird dick. Now, I'm glad I pissed him off. Like, I'm not going to condone that part. Like, if it pissed Trump off, all the power to them. But that also doesn't mean I have to give it to them either. Because this is barely a stand. It does have to be one of the most popular shows in comedy history. I don't know. I've become increasingly pickier about the more cynical aspects of that kind of humor. I don't know. I just feel like I outgrew it, or not outgrew it. Just my philosophies changed, my thought patterns changed, and just like South Park is just no longer South Park is no longer compatible with that. That's what I'm talking about. All right, here we go. Comics about mental health. Let's try this one. Oh, these are like web comics. Never mind. That's not what I'm looking for. I guess what I'm asking for you, Fish Cake, is are you looking for books that are like about dealing with the struggles of life, or is it you want like a how-to on how to deal with the struggles of life? Because those are very different categories. Make fun of everything, everyone. But yeah, but let's not pretend they don't also have a stance in that. Like that whole chestnut works to a degree. It doesn't work for everything, and if used as a catch-all, that means you can't criticize it at all, which is also stupid. How to? Yeah, how to might be a little difficult in the realm of comics. There are plenty of self-help books out there, though. So it's like, oh, they help, like make fun of everyone. It's like, yeah, but it's still a bad joke. You get that, right? And the way they're teaching it promotes bad fucking shit that they should not be condoning. Because that was the era of just like apathy is cool, dude. That is kind of the poison the minds of a lot of adults nowadays, and I think to not have a not insignificant portion of why everyone is kind of an asshole. Comics are easy for me to read. All right, I'll take a look. I'll see what I can find here. And let's say if you like it, you're bad. No, if you like it, that's fine. You know, I'm not gonna say you're bad for liking it. That's just my opinion on the series up to this point, and kind of why I lost interest. Especially when they were doing that stupid like Star Wars shit. That was when that really broke me. When they were trying to they do oh well the woke stuff went too far, but Trump is still worse, which means they still thought the woke stuff went too far. He gave that fucking movement of Last Jedi haters a fucking try to make their point valid when it's fucking not. Like they've gone increasingly conservative. Just Trump is just too far past them, but they also don't want to actually criticize him. They just want to make fun of him. And at a certain point, I don't know. I don't really think that accomplishes much. Other than just pissing him off, which is still a fun goal in and of itself. But, I don't know. This is new for me. As I got older, it's kind of the same reason I stopped watching Rick and Morty. Because, I don't know, just my sense of humor changed. My beliefs of the world changed. I got tired of just naked cynicism and nihilism. Have you ever heard of John Rabe? In World War II. I just read his history in his time in China. No, I have not. Why don't you tell me about it? All right, let's see. How to deal with life, comic book. Yeah, I'm having a hard time finding one that's a how-to. I don't know if that exists in this category. I mean, there's probably a lot of books about, whatever you're struggling with. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, let's see. What is this one? The closest one I can find for you, Fish Cake, is Kind of Coping. By Maureen Marzi Wilson. Because that's the only one that even comes close. It's still kind of a story thing, but it's meant to be easily digestible and offers real life lessons. Is that really good? How so? Do you think there are audiobooks about how to deal with life? Oh, hell yeah! Now that's not hard to find at all. If I just Google, if I just put up Spotify. All right. Just be very careful which one you choose, because some of them can have some pretty harmful messages. You don't get up in the manosphere shit. Avoid that like the plague. Okay, here you go. Yeah, there is literally a... oh, this is a podcast. I want an audiobook. Well, no, it says How to Deal with Stress and Anxiety. It's the first thing that popped up on Spotify when I looked up how to deal with life. Yeah, yeah, I don't know. You're gonna find probably a good chunk of that. Yeah, there's even some podcasts about it too. Yeah, so like how to deal with the stress, depression, anxiety, how to love yourself, happy with your life, and heal negative thoughts, positive thinking to change your mind about your problems. That's the whole fucking name. Why is it this long? How was San Diego? San Diego was a lot of fun. It was. It was a good chance to blow off some steam. I walked at least 5 miles a day. It was good. It was fun. Yeah, so if you're looking for something like that where you can't really like you don't want to read words necessarily, but you still want to get the message, that's what I would go with. I think you're much better off with audiobooks. I mean, I can tell you one that really helped me because they kind of taught me a new way of thinking that I was accidentally applying up to that point, but it was so much more validating to see it. Which is No Bad Parts, and I know it has a audiobook attached to it because my partner's listened to it a little bit. And what did you get? Good Mexican food? Not there, but I did get some when I got back. Really, the whole like trying to figure out where to eat in that whole district is challenging. Trying to deal with all the crowds, especially. What was I saying? Oh yeah, No Bad Parts. And it's a book that discusses a type of therapy called internal family therapy, which is something I heavily prescribe to. Um, and that what that is basically like you envision all your different emotions and aspects of yourself and everything that kind of makes you you. And you kind of separate them into little parts, and you try like it's almost like a mind palace in a way where you kind of you separate them from yourself, and that allows you to kind of talk to that problem and figure out what it's trying to tell you. It's kind of challenging at first, but once you get kind of figure that out, it really has helped me a lot work with some parts of my brain. Your hair reminds me of an 1800s hairstyle. It looks better when it's combed, but I'm still getting used to long hair. Like what did I do in San Diego? I did a lot of things. I spent way more than I should have, because I did not know my hotel was going to be as expensive as it was, which was a problem because I am broke. But I managed to figure something out, and I was still able to have a good time that way. There was a bumper scar thing that I gave a try. I accidentally met like one of the people from Dimension 20. I also accidentally kind of met the cast of the new Star Trek show, which was still like that was cool. Took a lot of pictures, went to little venues. I went to this Magic the Gathering event for like Spider-Man cards, which I didn't really want to go to, but at the same time, like a friend asked me to, so I'm like, okay, fine, like fine, I'll do it. But anyway, yeah, no, it was good. I had a good time, and I needed that. I really did. Especially after the last few years, that's just been really tough, and I haven't had a chance to really release any stress or anxiety much during that time. What did you get from Comic Con? Oh, way too much. Just a lot of prints, some collectibles, because I always I just kind of wander from booth to booth and see what looks good, and then I take that stuff. Or buy that stuff. So I got nerd backpacks. I also bought what else did I fucking buy? Some Godzilla stuff because I bought a 20-inch plush Godzilla that's currently my girlfriend is currently cuddling with while I'm out here. There's also a movie by John Rabe, and I need your thoughts on this. Is the movie Nazi? I'm gonna look it up. You should cosplay as someone off MSD 3K next time you go to Comic Con. I mean, anyone I'd want to play from MTS 3K would just be way too expensive to set out. The album is diabolical. Hold on, let me take a look here. John, it's better not be some kind of elaborate setup. John Henry Rube. Okay, he was a real person. Can confirm. Movie. It was called Baby Blue Marine in 1976. Let me see if that's actually true. Hold on. Oh, it was a Hancock film. Oh, interesting. Okay. I never heard of this one. Does anyone actually name Rube, like, appear here, or? I don't know. And that is concerning. Oh, there's Rube in this cast. Okay, there we go. So I don't know if he necessarily was in that movie, but apparently he was a character. Now what am I looking up again exactly? Like, was that the movie or a different movie? Oh wait, you know what? I spelled the fucking name wrong. Hold on. I can fucking read. I'll read so good, you guys. Okay, here you go. Was the movie just called John Roop in 2009? There's a collector's small Comic-Con where I live. I look forward to it as at a school, and not only costs for $10 for adults and getting used to be $5. Well, that's pretty good. You know the guy's background, John Rabe. I need your thoughts on this guy. All right, let me look up the Wikipedia article. Okay. What's going on with John Rabe? Okay. John Heinrich Detlef Rabe was a German diplomat and businessman best known for his efforts to stop Japanese war crimes and protect China's civilians during the Nanjing Massacre. The Nanking Safety Zone, which he helped establish, sheltered approximately 250,000 Chinese people from Imperial Japanese Army atrocities. Rabe has been sent to China as an official representative of Nazi Germany in the European U.S. quarters in Nanjing, the Republic of China's capital. He served as a senior chief of the diplomatic mission at the end of the Japanese conquest. Okay, interesting. Okay, let's do this one. Many Westerners were living in Nanjing. Oh, hold on, let me go through his early life. Rabe was born in Hamburg on November 23rd, 1882. His father died while he was very young. He pursued a career in business and worked for a British company in Mozambique from 1903 to 1906. In 1908, he left Hamburg via Trans-Siberian Railway bound for Beijing, Great King. And then he married Dora Quinlan Schubert on October 25th, 1909. They later had a daughter, Margaret, and a son, Otto. Okay, I don't think this part's relevant. All right. Japanese were brutal during World War II. They made the Germans look nice. That's what I heard. Okay, here we go. Establishment of the Nanking Safety Zone. Many Westerners were living in Nanjing, the Chinese capital city, until December 1937, with some conducting trade and others on missionary trips. As the Imperial Japanese Army approached Nanjing and initiated bombing raids on the city, all but 22 foreigners fled, with 11 American and 18 European missionaries and businessmen forming part of the remaining group. As the Japanese army advanced on Nanjing on November 22nd, 1937, Rabe with other foreign nationals, including the International Committee of Nanking Safety Zone, and created the Nanking Safety Zone to provide Chinese refugees with food and shelter from the impending Japanese massacre. He explained his reason as, "There's a question of morality here. I can't bring myself for now to betray the trust of those people have put in me, and it's touching to see how they believe in me." The zones were located in all the foreign embassies and Nanjing University. I never learned about WW2 very much. Well, here you go. Here's a chance to learn. Make a competition of who killed more from the Japanese. Competition how? Like, I'm not sure I'm understanding the parameters of this. There you go. The Nanjing Massacre. According to Rabe, the Nanjing Massacre resulted in the death of 50,000 to 60,000 civilians. Rabe and his zone administrators tried frantically to stop the atrocities. Modern estimate of the death toll of the Nanjing Massacre vary, but some put the numbers of murdered civilians as high as 300,000. Rabe's appeal to the Japanese using his Nazi party credentials often only delayed them, but the delay allowed hundreds of thousands of refugees to escape. The documentary Nanking credited Rabe with saving the lives of 250,000 Chinese civilians. Other sources suggest he saved 250,000 to 300,000. In his diary, Rabe documented Japanese atrocities committed during the assault on and occupation of the city. In a series of lectures that he gave to Germany after his return, Rabe would say that we Europeans put the number of civilian casualties at about 50,000 to 60,000. Rabe was not the only person to record Japanese atrocities. By December 1937, after the defeat of the Chinese forces, Japanese soldiers often went house to house in Nanjing, shooting any civilians that they encountered. Additional evidence of these violent acts came from the diaries kept by Japanese soldiers and journalists appalled at what occurred. Rabe summarized the conflict in Chinese shoulders in Nanjing in the following manner. I've written several times in this diary about the body of the Chinese soldier who was shot while tied to his bamboo bed and who is still lying unburied near my house. The protests and pleas of the Japanese embassy finally to get this corpse buried or give permission to bury it have thus far been fruitless. The body is still lying in the same spot as before, except that the ropes have been cut and the bamboo bed is now lying about 2 yards away. I am totally puzzled by the conduct of the Japanese in this manner. On the other hand, they want to be recognized and treated as a great power on a par with the European powers. On the other, they are currently displaying a crudity, brutality, and bestiality that bears no comparison except the horrors of Genghis Khan. I have stopped trying to get the poor devil buried, but I hereby record that he, though very dead, still lies above the earth. Okay, so that's a lot. Just out of curiosity, where is your confliction coming from? Look it up. There's a newspaper. If I remember correctly, they made a competition. I guess it wasn't surprising based on the number of massacres that actually happened, or murders that actually happened. I did learn there was a flamethrower fighter in World War II, or it could be World War II. I'm not sure, but I think World War II. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that division was either World War II or the Korean War, or the Vietnam War. The crazy part is Ray was with the Nazis, so I feel conflicted about them. Is it good to see him as a good guy? I mean, that goes into a larger question, because in this case, I don't know what he did as a Nazi. He could have done some really fucked up things. I can't tell from this article. But at the same time, you can't also argue that it's something very good. So you can say that he could either be a bad person who did a good thing, or a good person that ended up in a bad party and realized his mistake. We have no way to tell. So I think in this particular area, in this specific incident, you consider him a good guy. A good guy to help people in the situation, not necessarily a good guy overall. But in this specific instance, he did good. Yeah, Rabe was morally gray, as far as we can tell. Again, these are all very old records. I don't know if we have a way to even determine what his personality was like. We can only speculate. Yeah, basically. There's no clean answer here. You can make an argument either way. How I see it personally is at some point, the enemy of my enemy. So whatever motivated him to do what he did, good on him. That's all I'll say. I don't condone or condemn anything else he did, because I don't know. Here we go. So, history lessons. Woo-hoo. Okay. What else was I doing? Is there anything else in this guy? Like home life or anything like that? Death and legacy. On January 5th, 1950, Rabe died of a stroke and is buried at Kaiser Wilhelm Memorial Cemetery in Charlottenburg. His wife died in 1964 and was buried by his side. Since there was limitation of graveyard usage in Germany, the lease of Rabe, it's really hard to say Rabe, was expired in 1985. This talks about the fucking tombstone moved, so that doesn't really tell me jack shit. What did he do after the war? Alright, after the war, Rabe was arrested first by the Soviet NKVD, then by the British Army. Both let him go after intense interrogation. He worked sporadically for Simons, earned little. He was later denounced by an acquaintance for his Nazi Party membership, losing the work permit he had been given by the British occupational authorities. Rabe proceeded to undergo lengthy denazification efforts. His first attempt was rejected and he had to appeal, in the hope of regaining permission to work. He depleted his savings to pay for his illegal offense. Unable to work with his savings spent, Rabe and his family survived in a one-room apartment by selling his Chinese art collection, but it was insufficient to provide their malnutrition. He was formally declared denazified by the occupational authorities on June 3, 1946, but continued to live in poverty. His family subsisted on wild seeds, his children eating soup and dry bread until running out of that as well. In 1948, Nanjing citizens learned of the Rave's family damage circumstances and quickly raised some money equivalent to 2,000 US dollars and 26,000 in 2024. The city's mayor traveled to Germany via Switzerland, where he bought a large amount of food for the Rave family. From mid 1948 until the Chinese Revolution, the people in Nanjing also sent the family a food package each month, for which Rave wrote many letters expressing deep gratitude. Okay, so that doesn't really tell us what he did after. Well, I guess it does, in that, he tried to move on from the Nazi stuff, and the Nazi stuff was not through with him. Do you know there was a anime about a cat and a book writer? I mean, that doesn't surprise me. That sounds very anime. Yeah, it's kind of hard to say what he did before all this. Or after, really. But it looks like since that day, he advocated for against the Japanese violence pretty heavily. Oh, God. All right. On that note, guys, I think I'm going to call it a night because it is getting a little late. But I will be back on Wednesday morning because I usually take Sunday, Monday off, and I'm kind of trying to wean my way back into this. I don't throw too much up myself too fast. But yeah, anyway, I'll be back on later. I'll see you guys then. All right, bye.